Fast fashion has destroyed all fashion. Leaked photos from the set of The Devil Wears Prada 2 are coming out, and like everyone else on the internet with a love of fashion, I too have feelings on it. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of this video, I just want to give Patricia Fields her flowers. She was the original costume designer for The Devil Wears Prada, Sex and the City, and Confessions of a Shopaholic. This woman is a style genius who has shaped fashion in ways most people don't even realize. Patricia is now in her 80s and is essentially retired from the industry but has passed the reins to her protégé, Molly Rogers, who is doing the costume design for The Devil Wears Prada 2 and Sex and the City's sequel, and just like that. Most people are really not liking what we're seeing from The Devil Wears Prada 2 leaked set photos. And most audiences have found the costume design from And Just Like That to be lackluster. A lot of people are attributing this to Molly taking the reins instead of Patricia, but I do feel that is a bit unfair. While both women gravitate towards structured pieces, bold colors, and pattern matching, Molly does tend to go a little bit more trendy than Patricia ever did. Patricia's costume designs always seem to exist in much more of a fairy tale heightened reality version of our world than the world we were living in. Now, a lot of times they would have very trendy pieces like the chunky belts commonly seen in Confessions of a Shopaholic. But overall, it seemed to be more creating trends instead of following them. Another factor is our society is incredibly ageist, and while we love to see women take bold swings when they're young, we judge them mercilessly when they're older. When Carrie Bradshaw would wear something like this in the original show, it was so cool and hip. But now that she's of a certain age, it doesn't feel the same. Another key detail in the defense of Molly is Patricia was creating worlds from the ground up with no expectations around them, so she was given carte blanche to play and experiment. The anticipation and scrutiny around the clothes in The Devil Wears Prada and Sex and the City were so much less than they are for And Just Like That and The Devil Wears Prada 2. Now for my not so much in the defense of Molly, Patricia was the absolute best at creating clear distinctions between characters with their clothing. In the original The Devil Wears Prada, we were introduced to Miranda Priestly first by seeing a close-up of her feet in these 1940s inspired high heel shoes. From that moment on in the movie, every pair of high heels Miranda wore were these chunky, structured, military-esque heels, and no other character wore a chunky heel like this. Which is in such contrast to the leak photos from the second movie where Miranda is wearing a lot of different types of high-heeled shoes, most of which seemed like they could be interchangeable with any other character. And a lot more trendy, which is just kind of Molly's thing. I do think this is a little bit of a disservice to the storytelling because Miranda Priestly does not follow the trends, Miranda Priestly is the trends. And considering Miranda Priestly is based on Anna Wintour, whose style has not changed at all in 40 years, she wouldn't be changing now. The final detail is fast fashion has destroyed all fashion, whether or not it's expensive. The quality of clothes that were coming out of design houses like Prada, Dior, and Chanel were so much better 20 years ago than they are today. Most of the major design houses have been purchased by investment groups or major conglomerates who are trying to squeeze all of the money they can out of these legacy brands. Most people can't tell you why this outfit looks cheaper, but they are able to pick up on the fact that it looks cheaper, and one of the reasons it looks cheaper is because it was made more cheaply. Look at the hem of this skirt. It is a rolled hem stitched on top instead of an invisible hem like any luxury brand would have done 20 years ago. While this type of hem is much faster and more cost-effective to manufacture, it affects the way the fabric moves and drapes and the overall effect of the garment. So 20 years ago, the luxury brands were still giving us beautiful hand-beaded blazers, and today they can't even be bothered to finish a hem properly. And that's why a lot of people are saying the costumes in this movie look like The Devil Wears Zara.